I much prefer Australia post-colonisation with air
male desexualization. It is
anti-Chinese sentiment towards male railroad workers in the 1800s. It is anti-Asian media policies in the early 1900s that only portrayed Asian men as evil or forbidden. It is Raj Kutapalli in The Big Bang Theory. Han Lee.
Bitch, I like ramen too, bitch, and I see it.
East Asians who come to the United States are 10 feet tall.
What's that move? What's that? Okay.
Oh my God. Oh!
What's wrong with you? I'm finna grab her ass. I'm finna grab her ass.
You can grab her ass. I'm gonna fuck that ass.
Tell him. This white man said
And two broke girls, Ken Jong in The Hangover.
No, you dirty bastard. Don't dirty man. No dirty man.
who are you?
Oh, me. Sam.
I saw you. Right, you're hiding. Because the white man that you pick is not even masculine whiteness. He's feminine, right?
Couldn't keep a secret, got a concrete skull. You couldn't shut up, you're an imbecile. You're an ugly down, there's nothing to gain. You couldn't shut up, you had a bad, bad brain.
When the British came to Australia, they were violent to the Indigenous people. That is true. How violent they were, the debate rages.
Have nuclear weapon, right? Because you don't want to wake up dead one day. You don't want to wake up dead. You want to have a great life, right?
But at the same time,
it's hard enough. They say as an African American, you don't make it past 25. We want to get you to 95.
But like,
affirmation is that the manosphere is a socialist movement for low status losers in order to get pussy. Is that what it is, more or less?
That doesn't require maintenance. That's okay. God, no one cares. Yeah, guys, no one cares about TO. Whoever's a TO here, no one cares. You guys have a million different bishops and things. You're just all disconnected. You can't even evangelize death to compromise. You can't even evangelize. You can't even tell us where to go.
0.5 space.
It's irrelevant.
Oh boy.
I honestly think that if Americans came to China, at least half of you guys, there'd be a civil war. Because I'm looking for apartments here right now. I got quoted $700 for a 4-bedroom apartment, fully furnished.
tell you. China loves you almost. Even the kids. There you go. You couldn't pick two countries that are more different than China and America. 在这里他们说美国人吃人吗？对。手里面有。不对的。This is really funny. They're asking me if I eat people. So in America, we have the stereotype that Chinese people eat dogs, cats, whatever. Apparently over here, they're teaching them that Americans eat people. 我们像你们一样，我们吃一样的东西。
阿姨死婆不是吃人的吗？小孩肉。阿姨这里。
Okay, 可能阿姨死婆。
A single bedroom's like $200. And everything here, like if you had me at gunpoint asking for one thing that the US does better, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Manosphere / men's rights movements are socialist, egalitarian crusades made up of... and that need to be eliminated from the gene pool.
Well, that's even harsher than I remembered, but wow. And then the next one is that so-called traditionalists want to return to an era that never existed. They actually don't want to return to the past. They want to return to a magical utopia, basically. Yep. Okay. I think...
Somewhere else?
Excellent. Andrew, fuck you. And you were the when I imagine like losers being attracted to him, got me right there. He did get.
But I listened to him constantly using the N-word. That's the N-word, and he's constantly using it.
See how Trump went out there and like clapped that nigga from Iran, that fucking supreme leader. That might have to be Chuck. Get him out of the way because he's trying to start some shit. We ain't trying to do it.
They were violent, but then they built something. They were violent for a greater purpose, you could say.
What?
Okay, everybody. A lot of people are gonna be saying Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, but not you though, right?
Oh, the Wasian meetup celebrates the proximity to whiteness. Wasians center whiteness. Only one centering whiteness here is my dad. Okay, buddy? 30 years too late. Go be mad at him, not me. Also, if my dad wants my mom to be the center of his universe, she should be.
Many are dictated by the former disinformation asset, Matt Staggs. Much more on the disinformation company later. First, I want to cover Alex Jones's network name, InfoWars. What is information warfare? The notion of information warfare covers a wide spectrum of psychological operations, from the classic Air Force concept of attacking enemy computer systems in conjunction with electronic warfare, to controlling information via television and radio, all the way to memes, and many concepts in between. The U.S. adaptation of information warfare originates from the future Soviet warfare theories, or revolution and military affairs, which also covers a wide spectrum of warfare, including information warfare. According to the well-respected PI who exposed the promised software scandal, Carol Marshall, aka Sherry Seymour, claims that the work of Major General Paul Bowley and Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino in the early 1980s spawned the entire revolution in military affairs within the United States, and its asymmetric approach to warfare, viewing new media as potential mind war operatives. In a follow-up U.S. Air Force Academy study via Air Force Space Command, we learn why warfare must become, quote, multi-dimensional. The spectrum of conflict, as portrayed in most readings, is single-dimensional, linear, and continuous. It must be replaced by a multi-dimensional model, perhaps even non-linear and discontinuous.
The new immigrants coming in now, many of whom are violent for the sake of violence.
Adam Green, who I don't always even agree with. AndrewWilson, I know he's got disagreements with me. These are all guys that said, nah, this is ridiculous.
Fuck easy, long and fuck hard, fuck good. Big old rock, you know what I'm saying? You don't come baby boo. You don't come baby boo. What is you sound? Pick your little ass up right now. If you tell her that, boom, oh my God, brother, great. Well, if you disrespect it and you don't do the same, I bet the fuck up now. Fuck you up, nigga. What's up?
Maybe even you, that their program was right, because you would have no other information. You'd be living in a vacuum controlled by them. You wouldn't know different. The past would be gone. The future would be theirs. It would be a complete control of your attitudes. Any illusion with AI. You can convince people very easily of almost anything using AI. And so if you're going to have technology like that, the very first thing you would do, if you're thinking clearly about it, is prevent anyone with institutional power from having it. Because that would eliminate the freedom of everyone else. You would have no shot against people with AI. Not necessarily that they would target your house for a drone strike. They wouldn't have to.
Understand the difference there. Violence for the sake of violence is destructive. They are not productive.
Advocating for violence is not the way. No, nobody wants it. He's the violent one. You don't realize he's the violent one?
Isn't he majority acting he's acting in self-defense, right?
Do you see what he's saying? He's daring people to do something.
Words aren't violent, Act. Words aren't violent.
Your rhetoric could be insightful.
But no,
you, all right?
You got me.
Thanks for agreeing with me. Josiah, I'm going to speak for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to say some interesting things.
I disagree.
Can
we stick to the format?
We're not playing fucking tennis here. I'm going to give
No, we're having a structured debate. Yeah, and we're having a structured debate, and we agreed to a format, and I'd like to stick to it.
The fact is that you didn't use collaborative methods when you attacked Iran. You just did it by yourself.
All right, that's nerd talk. Collaborative methods. We're going to bomb them, and we're going to win.
But you could have used NATO. You didn't consult your allies.
NATO,
UK,
NATO they haven't been paying in. We've been paying all the money. They don't pay.
This is the one critical material the U.S. has a monopoly on. Found in exactly one place on the Earth's surface, stop the ultra-pure form of this from flowing, and the world would slip backwards in time 25 years, which is why you don't hear much about it. Why the secrecy around it, how it's made, how to use it are guarded like state secrets. To make 1 million iPhones, you need 250 pounds of it. Not a nice to have, not we'll figure something else out if we can't find it. Like Saudi Arabia's oil, China's rare earths. This is America's ace in the hole. Quartz.
The southern Levant from the Ptolemaic kingdom. And according to Josephus, after Antiochus III was the Seleucid king at the time, after Antiochus III took over the southern Levant, he recognized that the Judeans had supported him in his conquest of the southern Levant, and in return, he allowed them to keep or to continue to keep their ancestral laws. That's the story that Josephus tells, and Josephus quotes a supposed proclamation of Antiochus III. There's some question among scholars if this document is authentic, if we should believe Josephus that this was an actual document from Antiochus III. Many scholars, perhaps most scholars, think that it is authentic. And okay, I don't know. Let's imagine that this is an authentic document. We still don't have a description of the Torah. The ancestral laws of the Judeans is not a strange thing to encounter. We have ancestral laws of other peoples that also were given, other peoples that were conquered by Hellenistic rulers were often given the opportunity to continue to keep their ancestral laws. So this is not something unique to the Judeans.
Well, there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some bing, bang, boom bumps in the road at first.
Which makes essentially the argument that the ancestral laws that we find before the period of the Hasmoneans was not the laws of the Torah.
Take this quartz crystal, crush it up. What comes out is what's in these piles. Zoom into one of the grains of sand in one of these piles, and you would see oxygen atoms sticking themselves to silicon atoms in a pyramid shape.
Rule to life, 48 laws of power, whatever you want to call it. Never say no to free private jet. That's a rule for life, okay?
That's true.
Each pyramid tangled up with its neighbor. The tangle becomes a crystal called silica. Silica, being the main ingredient in concrete, is quite literally the foundation of our world. Concrete is not overly picky about the quality of its silica. A little bit of iron or magnesium tangled up in the crystal. Mix it together with lime, add some water, pour it in a mold, let it cure, and you have concrete.
I'm not Somali, but I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lie. It's like
He's a POS. Look at him.
I like Andrew. He's been extremely charitable to me and my family. And
he's not actually a good person. He's a fucking like dork and doofus, period.
Fired him, so now he doesn't have a job. He can't pay his bills. And then he tried to get another job, and now he's basically canceled in the national area, this guy. So he has no way to survive. All because he said a word that all the black people say nationwide.
All realities that were deconstructing and disempowering, you could say, the nuclear family as a man's fundamental claim to power and status.
Appreciate J.F. Garaipi and RichardSpencer.
Every single day of it. So basically they're telling us, look, we're going to tell you how you can speak. You're not allowed to pronounce the R, but we speak differently than the black people. We speak English differently. And you can't say the R, or you can't say the word at all. It doesn't matter. Murder. These people will murder you. These people have turned our cities into war zones. The cops are getting shot. They're dealing all the dope. Cops are afraid to pull anybody over in the city. You know, you get pulled over in the city, I mean, they got their hand on their gun because, you know, their buddy just got shot a few days ago.
There was a time, and it's sort of an imagined time, when every man could get a job, join a union, own a car, own a house, have a wife and 2.3 kids, and there you go.
Everybody that Asmongold, Sam Hyde, everybody that came out vocally in my defense.
What I would suggest is that that is an aberrational situation that emerged in post-war America after the Second World War that is something totally unheard of in world history.
And the first thing it gives them almost complete control over is communication. Communication, not just surveillance, but the ability to craft a message, to convince you of something.
The priest at a Catholic church that Chud goes to, so Chud can't go to church anymore. Because the priest said, I don't want you coming here because if you come here, I've already got the call. They're going to murder me.
Traditionalists are actually completely ahistorical in their worldview and their normative claims to the nuclear family being the basis of society.
So this is my rule. Like the thugs down there in Venezuela, like the thugs down there in Mexico, the cartels basically run everything. The cartels run
the propaganda opportunities inherent in AI are something that the Stasi couldn't have dreamt about because they're so profound.
My beef with it is not in that analysis. My beef with it is not even in its, game tactics and strategies, how to pick up women, etc. My beef with it is the way that it has emerged as a sort of universal monogamy, as some sort of traditionalist.
You can create any illusion with AI. You can convince people very easily of almost anything using AI. And so if you're going to have technology like that, the very first thing you would do, if you were thinking clearly about it, is prevent anyone with institutional power from having it. Because that would eliminate the freedom of everyone else.
In which we are not going to have a situation that resembles world history. We're going to have a kind of new situation where every man gets a woman and that's that, etc. Material conditions be damned. We've moved beyond material conditions that inform any sort of situation like this. We are simply going to assert the nuclear family as the status quo.
So you would think in a country founded to preserve human freedom, which is why the United States was founded, not to preserve free market capitalism, whatever that is, but to preserve God-given rights, you would think there would be a robust debate on this. No, at the very same moment this technology is being developed and paid for by taxpayers who really are paying for this, of course, needless to say, always paying for this, the US Congress just voted to allow the US government to spy on American citizens without even going through the normal pro forma rigmarole of getting a warrant from a secret judge. They just do it.
Say that it's an egalitarian socialist movement. I mean that quite seriously. It's a sort of conservative middle-class Marxism.
And the president pushed for this and both parties were totally on board with it. Kind of weird this happening at exactly the same moment. So that is the concern. And that may explain why the people developing this and permitting it and profiting from it. Everyone involved in this, not one of them has taken any time to make you like it.
For a loser like AndrewWilson, he wants to be given a woman and he wants to be given some employment that he feels will give his empty life meaning, etc., and so on. That actually has nothing to do with manliness or masculinity. That is, again, a rather mid-20th century middle-class fantasy from low-status males, AndrewWilson being a prime example.
They don't care what you think about it, possibly because pretty soon they won't have to. That's not like some dark conspiracy theory. It's just obvious.
What does it mean to be a man? It means to sail your ships into uncharted waters.
It's just obvious. How else would you explain this?
It means to found the Roman Empire on the basis of a quest and a great rape.
You're rolling, even during COVID, they at least tried to tell you that you were wearing the mask and taking the poison shot and jumping on one leg and whatever they were having you do that day because of the science. They tried to convince you that you kind of had to do it.
Rape of the Sabine women, to go out and do it.
Because it was good. They're not even trying that now. And so you have to ask why. And again, it may be, just guessing, because they don't have to.
To grab them by the pussy, as it were. Women are the most essential resource, and real men go out there and get it.
We should take this very seriously.
And only a select few of men are brave or bold or strong enough or fit enough in a Darwinian sense to actually achieve this. And the rest of the men, to be frank, don't reproduce.
This is
I want to let
really
you know the reason
scary.
I'm having this debate with you is because I think I can bring you to the dark side of the force.
But Larry Fink knows, in fact, he's admitting that people know this is bad for them, so bad that they might be willing to commit an act of terrorism, a felony for which they could be in prison for a long time. And trust me, if you attack a data center, you're going to get a lot longer sentence than you would if you, say, rape someone.
And die. Again, the manosphere is a socialist, egalitarian movement to the extent that it wants to change this fundamental aspect of human nature and this...
Or molested a child on an island in the Caribbean, in which case you're fine.
So I'm from America.
Oh, welcome to Japan!
Great, great. I love you.
You attack a data center? Part of a BlackRock investment? Are you joking? A Spencer Cox property? You're going away, buddy. For real. And not to some club-fed farm.
Haven't you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
Haven't you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
You're a fucking... Now get out of here!
Real. And not to some club-fed farm. Like Supermax in the hole. Do not mess with a data center.
And you're already halfway there. My hope is to convince you to get to the rest.
People can feel in their gut it's not good for them. This is not a future they want. And they moreover know, because it couldn't be more obvious, that nobody cares that they don't want it at all.
The way there. Let's assume for a second that I was, I don't know, like delirious, right? And just thought I talked to God and he gave me commands, right?
It's being imposed on them as immigrant populations are imposed on them all the time. Hey, meet your new Somali neighbors. Oh, you didn't ask for that? Who cares? Shut up, racist.
2 moments later.
Okay, fine, Dave. I'll make it
What's
super
yours?
simple because God tells me so. Is that better for you?
People are used to living like this. They've been humiliated. Their standard of living has fallen. Their life expectancy has declined in the United States over the past 20 years. And they've said almost nothing about it. They've been sent to wars, committed to wars as a nation, not just the men fighting it, but all of us and their consequences again and again and again against their will. No one's booing the Iran war at a college graduation, but the mere mention of AI sends the graduates into boos because they feel in their guts it's that bad and nobody cares that they feel that way.
Sure. He tells me so. Is that better for you?
Sure. No,
okay.
that's the answer.
He directly communicates right into my brain. He's like, that shit's wrong. That I follow Christian ethics. I use transcendental categories inside philosophy to create justifications for the values which come from God's laws. That's what I do.
That's a lot of words to not say anything.